Oh, it is official. Right then, bloody hell, got 4 viewers.
Countdown and then just stop streaming.
Of course I'm ready.
Oh, nice day now.
Hello everybody, welcome to this wonderful stream. Yeah, so, the reason I thought I would stream today is because I wanted to upload yesterday, right, but unfortunately I didn't get that opportunity, so, it may actually become part of the norm, this. If ever it gets to the option where, like, I'm trying to push out content and it's just not going to be ready on time, I'm thinking I might actually reserve Friday/Saturday for a stream. And I'm probably going to change the topic of the stream every single week, but yeah, like, that's the general gist of it. Like, I think it's a pretty sound idea, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, today, what I want to do, I am joined by my good friend Sam Brooks, if he is there. Sam? Oh, he has to go. Oh, hello. I thought you'd gone AFK for a second there. Yeah, I'm joined by my good friend Sam, and yeah, I'm gonna try and create a game in less than an hour. And the challenge for today is to create that game without importing any sprites into GameMaker. So I'm gonna use GameMaker because I'm quite familiar with it. And honestly, I've got no idea where this is going to lead, this sort of, yeah, this game development project, but maybe it might become a good product. To be honest, I've actually got a bit of a good idea for it, because I want to make like some sort of Asteroid-y type game, but it's actually quite sensible not using sprites, because essentially it makes them infinitely scalable. If you're drawing all the information with just vectors and stuff, it basically means that you can just scale up the sprites and it'll never lose resolution. So it could quite like have a lot of portability for different platforms, and I do quite like the interest of that. So yeah, let's get to it. So I think the first thing we actually need is a counter. I do not have a counter, but I can quite easily make one. Yeah.
Nice preparation.
No, I'm fairly prepared, but not completely. So I think there's
You said that.
I mean, could be worse. I mean, so I need to find the output text file location. Hang on a second. Text. Yeah, me and Sam are both quite ill at the moment, aren't we, as well? I've actually been recovering from a cold over the past, like, 5 or so days, and that's the major reason I've not uploaded. I've just felt absolutely shocking lately, but I am back once again, so let's see if I can actually get that text file. Okay. So I need 1 0. I should update. There we go. I've got a counter prepared. Okay. There we go. Sorted. Use all white sprites, then change the blend color randomly. 16 million sprites per sprite. That is actually a really good idea. You know, I might actually do that for a project at some point. Like, I think the better choice is just use one sprite altogether and then use it for everything. But obviously, you could use the colours to like represent different sort of objects in the game, which I think would be quite interesting. So, anyway, let's get started. I'm going to start this timer right now. Boom, it started, and we have got exactly 1 hour, so I best get started. New project. Good old GML. This is the first time I've ever done something like this under such a short time constraint, so hopefully my computer doesn't die in the process, but we'll see how we go.
I'd laugh if it did.
Would be quite funny, to be fair.
I think if it can handle 12 hours straight game jam, I think it can handle an hour.
I think my GameMaker's actually just crashed as I've just created the project. I don't know why, but it just... I don't know why. There's something wrong with the GameMaker on my machine. Like, I've tried uninstalling it and like reinstalling it, and it's still got the same problem. But if I try creating a project and then I'll load it back up again, and then obviously create one again, it doesn't have the problem. It just does it.
Have you tried it on your Dell Optiplex?
My good old Dell. Yeah, that's a story in itself, that. Yeah, I'll explain the story to the people that are watching. Basically, me and Sam, we went to a sort of PC fair, wasn't it? Yeah, and like I was quite keen on getting like a really low end computer because like I don't think many game developers actually test on like low end machines, and yeah, like I just went up to the salesman like, have you got the slowest PC, or can you show it to me? And they gave me a really strange look, like, yeah. And yeah, I managed to get myself a second-hand PC with 2 gigabytes of DDR2 memory for like £30. So bargain it there, what? I need to save this in the right directory. Game projects. Just gonna call the project No Sprites. I think it's actually worked this time. Yeah, okay, we are in, finally. Let's get started. Straight up, I'm gonna change that to Yo-Yo compiler, so it's just faster. Actually, it's a bit slower to compile, but they're right. Room. Let's rename the room. I don't like room 0. Rename. Let's call that RM init. And then create another room called the RM peasant. Yeah. No, I'm gonna call it RM game.
Betrayal.
Then width. What do you think I should do for the width? Do you think I should make it fairly low res, or I'm thinking maybe high res and then scale up the actual scale. So maybe I'll do the typical 960 by 540. I need to have to make it what? Girthy. Oh. I could actually do it as a portrait game, to be fair. That might be something I've never done before. I've never actually made a portrait game. That's a good point. But be right. The thing is about this, obviously, because everything's just drawn as vectors and stuff, I could just change stuff like that on the fly, and it's not really gonna affect anything, like gameplay-wise, you know. Which I think is quite a nice idea I've hit on today. Yeah, so I can't import sprites. That's going to be a challenge. Let's just create an object. I need to figure out how I'm going to get stuff drawn to the screen first. So I'm just going to call this obj shit and then I'll call that. Actually, yeah, I'll call it P ship for player ship, and then no sprite. Needs a create event to declare good old variables. Let's change that. Right. This is going to be quite difficult now because I've got no idea how I'm going to work with this. It needs a step event. Actually, having said that, yeah, I'm going to need a speed variable to begin with. So speed equals say 3 pixels per second. And then we need like input keys, I think, as well. So k underscore w equals 0, k underscore a equals 0, k underscore s equals 0, k underscore d equals 0, and then I'll do LMB for the left mouse button equals 0. And then gonna need a step event, and I'm gonna need to set them input keys. So and I also need net variables. That's the point. So the net x movement is obviously equal to 0. Net y movement is equal to 0, and I'm also gonna need an angle. Yeah, that's the point. So I think that should be cool, actually. So kw equals keyboard underscore check or w in quotations, and then same thing again for AS and D. And then the net movement obviously is then net x. I want to do I'm trying to think now. If you press D, you're moving positive across the x coordinate. So yeah, I'm trying to think now. It'd be D, yeah, k underscore D minus k underscore A, and then the net y movement is obviously k underscore D, no, sorry, no, S subtract kw. There we go. I'm actually going to change that from speed to speed x, and then actually let's just call that speed. Yeah, so I think it's h speed is the inbuilt variable. H speed equals net underscore x multiplied by speed, and then v speed equals net underscore y multiplied by speed. Boom. So we should have basic movement now. Then the issue is with this, I can't actually use image angle, because essentially image angle is gonna try to draw a sprite, but obviously because I haven't got any sprites, that function won't work. So I've actually got to code my own system. Now I can do that with the angle variable that I've like declared. I can basically set that to the current XY location plus the the d sin and d what's its name, d cosine of the mouse. So I could actually do, hang on a minute, point direction. That'd be a bit quicker. point direction, and then obviously x1 is the x location of the ship, and then the y location, and then the mouse x, mouse y. That's my angle. And do you think the forward and back movement should actually go relative to the direction of the ship, Sam?
I'd say so, personally.
Yeah, I think it would actually kind of work out better like that. I'm just going to increase font size a bit for extreme. Yeah, so that kind of would actually work better, wouldn't it? That means I've actually got to essentially create my own movement, which is going to be difficult. I'll just leave it as it is for the time being, and then I'll work on the drawing first, because I think that's more important, considering I've not got any sprites at the moment. So I think I need to set the vertices, which is going to be difficult. I'm going to have to specify them manually. I'm trying to think what the function is now. Draw. Is it draw primitive begin? Yeah, that's it. Draw primitive begin. So I have never used this function ever, but essentially what it allows you to do is manually set the coordinates of each specific vertice that you're drawing. So yeah, then you can obviously do there x 1. I'll make the ship have, I kind of want to make it like an arrowhead shape, so that's gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 points, isn't it? So yeah, so x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, x4 y4, like that. That's my variables I need. And then x1 is obviously going to equal the x location, and then I want to do plus the d cosine of angle. Actually it's subtract, isn't it, cosine, and then multiplied by the distance. So obviously the distance, let's just call the first point 3. Then no, actually make it 8. And then obviously y1 is equal to the y coordinate plus the d sine of angle times 8. And then this is where it gets a tiny bit difficult, because now I've actually got to change the angle. So maybe if I did angle, let's say plus, well, if you think about it, an arrowhead, it's like greater than 90 degrees, so I'll call it about 135. Let's try 120 for the time being. 120, and then maybe multiply by 6, and then that's the x2 y2, and then the x3 y3 is basically behind the ship, so then that's now angle plus 180, because I'm going in the opposite direction. And then that needs to be, let's say, multiplied by 2, because obviously it's closer toward the centre at that point. And then the final one is obviously x4 y4, which is then the inverse of the first one. So it's angle subtract 120 rather than add. And I think that's actually the coordinates set for the ship. And then obviously now I've got to draw all that, so I need at the end of this function draw primitive end, And actually, before I even draw the primitive, I want to set the color. So draw, set color, and then let's just think it'd be $sign F F F F F F. That's just white in hexadecimal. Trying to think now. Why has that got an error? Oh, draw primitive begin kind. That's a point. I need to I'm pretty sure it'd be triangles. Yeah, PR triangle list. That's the one I want. So that should fill them with triangles. That's interesting about image angle. I genuinely had the impression that that wouldn't work if you actually tried drawing a sprite with it that doesn't exist, but yeah, so that's the primitive, right? I think that's actually about it. I just need to draw the points now. So draw vertex, and then the XY location. So x1, y1, and then I can just copy and paste that. I think even though this has only got 4 vertices, I actually might need to do 5, because that essentially creates 2. Oh, what does it? Let's just try it with 4 for the time being. I believe if you do like draw vertex and then you specify it as point, it doesn't actually complete the loop. But I think triangle might behave a bit differently. Let's just see how that goes anyway. Let's plonk it in the room. I don't even think I need an init room to be there. Delete that. And then p-ship. Boom. This is the first time I've ever tried this, so hopefully it bloody works. If it does work first time, I will be genuinely surprised. You know what? It's actually working. I don't believe it. Hallelujah. Ah, you see, it's actually only drawing one triangle. It's not drawing both of them. So I do actually need that 5th point. That's quite interesting, though. Yeah, so then I need draw vertex and then just the original coordinate again, x1, y1, and that should complete it. I actually also think I need, let's create a controller object, obj controller. The reason I'm creating a controller object is so that it can store like important variables. So I'm thinking of having a scaling variable, and it affects every sprite on the game. It's not really sprite scale, it's just like vector scale. And then set it to, let's say 4. I can actually make this like complete with decimal numbers as well, and it's not really going to affect the pixelation or anything, because there's no pixels to work with. That's quite cool. Alright then, so then I can do multiplied by vector scale. That needs to be a global variable actually. Global dot, there we go. Now I can address that in other classes. That should be fine now. Then good evening, Zach. I'm live streaming right now to YouTube. I am live streaming to YouTube right now. Yeah, so I think that's actually pretty good. I just need to actually initialize that object. I could do that in creation code though. Instance create depth, and then just 0 0 depth. Actually no, do layer. Yeah. Oh, no worries, man. Yeah, so I think that's actually pretty good now. Then we should have a complete ship to work with now. And Sam, I figured something out. I actually need to reverse the direction of the sprite because the image angle is pointing in the wrong direction. No, it's still not drawing that second triangle. That's a bit odd. Maybe it needs a 6th point. That's actually a good point. No pun intended there.
No, you just need to leave now.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the. That's the first try. And then that's obviously the second try. That actually makes a lot of sense if it's like that. Oh, there we go, I've done it. Yo. Slow mode? I could turn it off actually. No, I just thought I'd enable it, you know. I didn't want this, like, the chat blowing up. You know, I've actually just thought I need to actually set the speed multiplied by the vector scale, because then it's actually setting the speed proportionate to the size of the vehicle, which is actually quite interesting. Yeah, so multiply by global vector scale. Boom. I've only got 38 minutes already. That's actually pretty damn crazy. Oh dear. Okay, I've got an error now. Create an outline 5. That's a little bit odd.
Like you mean?
Yeah. Maybe if I clean my cache, that's the point. How do you do that in GameMaker too? I forget now. General settings, is it? Paths, so that's it. Delete temp, delete asset cache. Okay. That should work. That's built in now. Oh wait, maybe not. P-ship create line 5. That is rather odd. A little bit confused why it's not compiling it. Wait, yo-yo compiler. This isn't the problem with the code. You know what, I'll just do multiply by 4 of the for the time being, and I'll try and fix that afterwards. I think it will actually work with virtual machine, to be fair. If it doesn't work with virtual machine, I'll be really surprised. Ah, okay, not set before reading it. That is strange. Yo. Yeah, I can do. That's pretty strange. Maybe try putting that above. That's so strange, I'm a bit confused why it's doing that, so I've initialized the variable. Maybe it's Ah, wait, I think I deleted my init room. That's the reason why. It's in the creation code of this. Oh yeah, that's really strange. Yeah, you know what? I will just multiply you by 4 for the time being. That should fix that issue. Might be just a problem with a create event. Yeah, that's fixed that now. Alright then. Okay, so the thing I've got to do now. Ah, the instance creation order, that is a good point. Yeah, see, it's not even in the list. You know what? You might be onto something with that. So I've done it in the creation code, and if that happens after the creation event, then that could be the problem. Let's just delete that. Suppose it makes purpose in actually having an init room now, but drag that underneath, and then boom. If that doesn't work, I'll be really surprised. Oh, okay, that's still not worked. What the hell? Not set before reading it, but it does exist because obviously in the step event it's working perfectly fine. Having said that, I'm not using it in that step event. Using it in the draw event though, to be fair. That is rather strange. I'd have to look at that afterwards. I've got other things to do right now if I'm actually going to get this game done. I'm making like an Asteroid shooter, but I'm basically not using any sprites whatsoever, so which is rather difficult. I kind of want to enable anti-aliasing as well. Interpolate colors, I think that's the one. And then I'm trying to think now. Oh wait, yeah, having said that, that needs to go into a controller event, definitely. I think it's draw. Is it draw clear? Oh wait, draw. It's definitely a draw function. Get alpha flush. No. Or is it a draw function? Display reset, that's the one. Let's set that to, I think it's 12, the highest value. Yeah, it can be 12 for 2, 4, and 8. And then true. That will enable the VSync. And also, I want to go to my room settings and then set that to 60. Apply. That should look a lot nicer now. Yeah, that's looking a bit nicer. Okay, so I actually do need to update that angle. That's in the step event of the ship. So the angle is 0, but then when I'm drawing it, angle plus 120. Maybe instead of plus 120, do it in the inverse direction. I think that's the way of doing it. Obviously, 120 subtract 90 is 30, so then it would want to be, would it just be plus 30? I think it'd just be plus 30, and then these are actually inverted now. That's I think that would be plus 180, would it? And then that would be just angle like that. I think that's correct. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it's pointing in the right direction now. So now, if you point and click, it needs to create a bullet instance, and I've got 29 minutes left, so see if we can get this done. So now I need to create a new object, and then let's call it obj bullet, and kind of want to increase the angle on the ship as well. I don't think 30 is enough. Let's just make it try 60. I think 60 would work better. Then yeah, so the bullet is essentially the same thing for the draw event. Now I need to create a draw event in this bullet object. Where's draw gone? Boom. So now, this is I just want to make this bullet square. So this is just gonna be like 0.0 times 8, I think. Actually, maybe do times 4. I think 4 would work a bit better for everything. Then it'd be like 8 in width. That's gonna be plus 90. That's gonna be plus 180. 180, and then that's gonna be. I could actually do subtract 90, but I could also do. I think subtract 90 would be a bit safer thinking about it. Yeah, there we go. So now this needs a speed. We'll set the speed to 8 times. Times vector scale, and then we need to check if the instance exists of the player. If instance exists of obj pship, and then get the direction of the ship. So it will be obj pship dot angle. Actually, give it its own angle variable. Equals angle like that, and then every step we want to increment the actual location of it by the speed. So step, and then let's do another 29. Boom. Then speed equals. Oh, I haven't said that now. X speed. Actually, it's H speed in it. Equals speed. Wait, no, it needs to be negative d cosine of angle multiplied by speed. Sorted. And then that's same for v speed, but then it's add sign. That should work. And then we can also just do outside room. And then, actually, maybe outside view would be better. Delete that. Outside view. And then just do instance destroy. That's just gonna stop memory leaks. So then I can just in the ship object. Let's rename this actually. Let's set it to P bullet. And then in the step event, LMB equals mouse check button released MB underscore left, like that, and then if LMB instance create layer, and then it's obviously the XY location of the object, and then the instance layer name, so instances, and then the object obj p bullets. Boom. Right, so we should have oh wait, no, stop that. I've got 23 minutes to finish this game. So it doesn't actually look like it's doing anything. That's rather odd. People. Ah wait, the reason it's not working is because I've not enabled views in the room yet. How do you do that? Room, viewports. Enable viewports, viewport not visible, and then let's set that to 960 by 540. Sorted. That should definitely work now. Okay, it doesn't still work, that's rather odd. Let's just check if it's not destroying it instantly. No, it's not creating it at all. Is the draw event correct? Ah, derp. I'm not using draw vertex end, or draw primitive end. I think that's the reason why. Hey, there we go, and it's doing it in the wrong direction. Well, it's actually working, so that's a start. I think I just need to set the speed to the opposite direction. How on earth would I do that though? I could just set negative speed there, but like that's sort of. Oh wait, it'd be angle plus 180, wouldn't it? 180. No. you could cheat if you use a single dot sprite as a bullet. Oh dear. No, that's naughty. That's naughty. That. There we go. I've done it. I think like 8's actually a bit too big for a bullet. It needs to be a bit smaller than that. Let's set it to 2. And then I'm gonna reduce the speed as well. I'm gonna make it like 2, and then see how that works. I kind of want the angle to just like slowly increment over time as well. I think that'd like quite add a lot to that. So I'll do angle plus equal 0.5. I think it's doing that every step, so I think 0.5 is actually going to be pretty quick, but oh no, it's quite slow. Maybe do plus 3. That might be a bit better. Oh dear. Okay, that's making it a bit dodgy. I need a separate value for the actual drawing angle over the maybe. Let's have a look at the draw event. I should actually change that to direction. That's the reason why. And then obviously declare another angle variable. Angle plus equal 3. Draw. How do you set the direction? Oh wait, there we go. Direction plus 180. There we go. That should fix that. Hey, there we go. So we got some spinning bullets. Maybe make it spin a bit quicker. You know what? I'm actually pretty impressed with this, so it's not using any sprites whatsoever. So now, what I need to do, essentially, is just create asteroids and then break them up, which is... I think that's actually going to be the most difficult challenge of all. It's just actually to get them to generate in the first place. Let me just expand that a bit. There we go. Right, so I'm gonna need a new object. Let's call it obj asteroid. And I can actually just copy the draw code of the bullet. Draw. Boom. Like so. See, that's fine. The create event is going to be a bit weirder though. Because the create event, I want to just set the speed like completely random in any direction. The speed's going to be quite slow as well. I just think to give us a bit more gameplay mechanics, I'm going to do, instead of a solid variable, do a random range. And then make it obviously like 0.1 lower range and then upper range of maybe like 2. And then at least that way you're getting some randomization at speed at actual asteroids and stuff. I'm trying to think now. The direction is just a random direction value. So for that I can do I random range. So for integer random range, and then obviously set that to 0 to 180, and then multiplied by well, it needs to be 1 or -1. I could actually just do 360 for that, to be fair. Or an even simpler way of doing it, I could just do -180. That'd work a bit better. And then I need the angle rotation. Yeah, the angle rotation speed, and then just set that to random range again. multiply by 6. No, 4. Let's call it that. And then I could actually create another variable in this, call it size. So that's actually the size of the asteroid, and then set that to like I random range. Let's say 1 minimum, and then like 4 maximum. Then at least I'm gonna get some variation in these asteroids. I'm trying to think now. I think that's actually about it. In terms of a draw code, this is where it gets a bit awkward. Let's try and get the step code in first. The step code is essentially going to be the same as the bullet, but instead of using the direction of the ship, I use a random direction. Asteroid. So angle plus equals 6. See, that needs to be, instead of plus equals 6, angle, rotation, speed. That would be a bit better. Then obviously that's direction, that's speed. Yeah, and then the last thing now is the size, and I'm going to modify that in the draw code. Where I'm multiplying by 2 here, I could actually just multiply by size. I think that would work. Like that. And then, last thing, other outside room. Wait, no, other outside view. Sorry. Change event. Other views, outside view naught. And then obviously instance destroy. The only issue is with that, I kinda want like the world to be just full of asteroids and have them flying in and out. And if it's outside the view, then it's just gonna destroy it instantly. And I kinda don't like the idea of that. I'd kinda like the room to be bigger, and then you can obviously just fly around and then interact with them. So I'm gonna get rid of that just for the time being. I'm gonna plonk a few asteroids in. Let's just see what happens. Ted Dabney. I'm guessing he was the developer of Asteroid. Yeah, so that actually seemed to work perfectly fine. Let's put a few more in just to be sure. Oh yeah. So yeah, see, this is actually looking pretty damn cool now. It would be quite interesting.
It was the co-creator of Paul.
Oh, was it? I didn't actually know that. Yeah, that's cool.
Asteroid's
Yeah.
He died, well, technically last year, but he's died now.
Really? Oh, that's sad, that.
Reese,
Yo.
do you think you can do it in 10 minutes?
Well, the only thing I've really got to get in is the, like, creation of the asteroids and then the destruction of them.
I think, guys, if Reese does this in 10 minutes, you also should.
I'll take the words for you. You should subscribe.
You should learn to speak English.
How much you been drinking, is it?
I'm not drinking, it's pizza next to me, bro. So my mouth's like, wow.
Oh, don't mention pizza.
Bad information again.
Don't, please, just stop. You physically torturing me.
Yeah, so I need to increase the size of the room. let's just set this to like maybe 2048 by 2048, and then I need to like move all these instances now. Can I like drag a box over all of them? There we go. Oh yeah, spot on that. And then I need to set the view to the actual player. So object following. See, viewport properties. I could just set that to the center of the screen, but like I think object ship would be better. Like setting that. And then horizontal border. Let's try setting that to. It'd be close to sort of 960 divided by 2, so it's a 460. And then the vertical border is then 540 over 2, which is 270. So let's just call that 250. I think that will be fine. Hopefully that's not screwed things up too much.
I'd laugh if it did.
Oh yeah, so I've got a working view now. That's good. Mate, this is to say I've built this in an hour, I'm actually quite impressed.
That makes one of us.
So alright then, so
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
yeah, but oh yeah. Size. I want to increase the size. Let's make the asteroids like a lot bigger. Let's a 4 to
We all want
32.
to
Yeah, can't deny increasing the size of anything. Bigger is better. Oh dear, okay, that's actually quite a bit too big.
That's what she says.
Attack of the Flying Squares.
Yeah,
Oh Lord! Help me now!
Don't like flying pieces.
flying pizzas.
Zach!
I think that's a more acceptable size, to be honest.
No, please don't.
Alright
You
then.
do that and I will literally come to Sheffield and hurt you.
The last thing I actually need to do now is just add the randomization of spawning them in and then the collision. I don't think the collision will be too difficult. It's just like checking if the bullet's like matching the position of a oh wait, yeah, there's actually a really easy way of doing this. With the asteroids I can actually just check if distance to object and then objp ship is less than the, excuse me, the size, yeah, actually less than size. I think that's gonna work fine, thinking about it. Instance destroy. Boom. Yeah, collision rectangle, I think that'd work. See, that doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, it does look like I'm gonna need a collision rectangle. So that's quite difficult now. Distance to object. Oh wait, I'm using the ship. I want to do P bullet. Derpity derp.
I thought you were a game developer.
Yeah. I don't think this is actually going to work for all the bullets because it's using the first instance. So I could actually have a for loop in the asteroid that iterates through them. Yeah, I'll do that. For instance number of objp bullet while
Zach, I actually hate you right now.
for their I equals
I will literally come to
I
you and strangle you once I remember where you live.
while I is greater than 0 I minus minus. And then I need to do var inst equals instance find obj p bullet I, so that's getting the instance number, and then I can just do inst, oh, like that. Excuse me. If that doesn't work, I'll be, oh dear, okay. So not value not set before reading it. Let's do if instance exists obj p bullet. Hopefully that works.
The classic fatal error.
Aye. What actually makes an error fatal? Like, oh dear, this apparently. So line 13.
Oh no.
Oh, I've misspelled bullet. Lol.
Oh, you.
What if it wants? That's what if it wants to spell bullet like that? Like,
You utter penis.
Still not destroying them. I think I'm actually going to have to use a collision rectangle. Oh, wait, it did it.
Yeah, because you'd literally wrote pull it. You absolute spoon.
Pull it. It's like playing bingo.
You absolute spoon.
Let's just do size multiplied by 2. See if I can increase the collision size. Hey, there we go. Got him actually destroying him now. Oh dear. Oh dear. I need like a reset key actually, but yeah, so that's the collision working. I think the last thing is actually just to get them spawning in randomly. So I'm gonna do in the controller, do timer equals 0, and then step event, boom, timer minus minus. If timer is less than or equal to 0, instance create layer obj p ship dot x obj p ship dot y, and then the instance name, which is the obj asteroid, and then the the instance name, sorry, instances comma asteroid, and then timer equals I random range, let's say 520. I think that's actually going to be, I'll do 110. We've got 1 minute 52, so hopefully this works. Oh dear. Oh, so it is actually working. Now I just need to add a random x and y, and that's actually a bit too quick. Maybe 520, and then plus I random.
1 minute.
Yeah, I know. I random range. It's one. No, wait, no. Needs to be quite high. That so size. obj. Wait, no. Global dot vector scale multiplied by. Wait, no. Let's just call it like 20, 100 multiplied by obj vector scale, or global obj vector scale, and then plus I random range. Boom. I think that has actually done it. Let's actually do -100. That'll work a bit better. So we should get random instances of Asteroid spawning in now. And I think... Oh yeah, you know what? There we go. Let's see if you can destroy them. Yeah, it destroys them as well, so... You know what? Like, it's not the most efficient solution, but I have actually just done a game, like, and finished it within an hour. I'm quite impressed with that. Let's set that timer to a bit higher. Yeah, 1 second to go. It's pretty much done, guys.
You all have to subscribe now.
I think 2560 would work better. Yeah, man, you know, like, it's not the best solution for collision. I think I'd actually do a better collision system, but it does work, definitely. I'm pretty impressed, and
I'm not.
you jealous?
I exist only to put you down.
Aye. It's a good existence, Sam, I have to say.
Zach put me in a bad mood with his fucking pizza.
No.
It was cheesy stuffed crust as well.
I literally want to murder you right now.
And a big bottle of Coke.
Oh dear.
What's your address again?
Can we not discuss this on the stream? Oh dear.
Still get recorded so if he does murder me.
Yeah.
In my defence, it was provoked with pizza.
When is it not provoked by pizza? That is the question. Yeah, you know what? Like, I'm genuinely impressed by how this game's turned out. I've actually made a pretty decent Asteroid game. Like, it's very simple, but it doesn't use any sprites, and I've actually managed to do that in an hour. I can't believe that. Like,
Show it off at next cameo.
I should do. I should actually show this off at the next cameo, you know. But yeah, anyway, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed this stream. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and yeah, hit it for the game development vibes and future content, and yeah, my friend Zach is gonna be streaming also at Zach and Neil on Twitch, I believe. Or are you doing YouTube? Yeah, do it, man. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. So adios.